So I recently had a YouTube commenter by the name of Kevin who actually was blasting everybody for wanting to improve their personal credit and to gain access to unsecured business credit for the purposes of building wealth. And so while his comments were, I have to say, they were blocked, but I was thinking about what Kevin had to say, and he's right to a certain extent. So what I want to share with you in this segment is exactly what he was talking about, why I decided to block him, and why he's actually right on a lot of fronts, and how you can actually not only rebuild your personal credit, get and gain access to unsecured business credit, but what you really need to do outside of that to be able to make tons and tons of money for yourself. So then that way you can live a true life of financial freedom. So let's get into this. All right, so I didn't save the comment, so otherwise I would have showed you what the comment was. But basically, he was bagging on everybody who was looking at my YouTube stuff that talks about how to fix your personal credit, basically calling everybody a deadbeat, saying, listen, why are you helping these deadbeats, get out of their credit situation and basically cheat the system, et cetera, et cetera. Well, first of all, what I decided to share on this channel was all of the life experience that I've had with building my own personal credit, as well as gaining access to unsecured business credit. And I learned all of this stuff by accident, so I thought I'd share that with people, so then that way I think that that would be beneficial for you if you are in a personal credit jam, okay? But the other reason is that I feel like our country is financially illiterate as a whole, no thanks to a guy named John Rockefeller back in 1902 when he created the school board, and it was for the purposes of creating worker bee drones so that they can essentially make him wealthy, and so he can depend heavily on people to be employees for his manufacturing plants, for them to manage his enterprise, his accountants, etc. And so he wanted to indoctrinate people on a schedule with busy work and never actually give anybody any kind of information to help them build financial freedom for themselves. And he did that on purpose. And that's where it kind of started. And so we unfortunately are still in this cycle, this mad cycle of being undereducated financially. And I feel like it's my job to help people pull out of that. So that's part of the reason why I start with personal credit and then ultimately go into unsecured business credit so that you can use that unsecured business credit to build wealth. So to Kevin and anybody else who thinks that I'm helping people who are quote unquote deadbeats, well, I hate to share this with you, but the reality is some people get involved in some personal credit jams because maybe of medical bills. It's such a ripoff to get any kind of medical access, medical treatment, to where you walk into a hospital and you need, a day hospitalization and some, aspirins, and all of a sudden you walk out with a $30,000 bill. And some people just simply can't afford that, and it goes on their personal credit. So they work as hard as they possibly can. Sometimes they can't chisel it off. Sometimes they can't make the payments, whatever the case may be. Maybe they had a car accident and they were out of work for 6 months, and things just happen, okay? So not everybody is a quote-unquote deadbeat because they can't pay their bills. Things happen in life, and sometimes things end up on your personal credit that you have no control over. So stop treating everybody like a deadbeat, Kevin, and other people that are watching my YouTube channel about my personal credit strategies, because not everybody ends up in a personal credit jam due to intent, basically wanting to rip off the banks. That's usually not how this works, okay? So with respect to that, though, he was right in one regard, and that is you need to start thinking a little differently if you're going to pull yourself out of your financial jam. Okay, that's just a reality. Like, I can give you quick fixes on helping you with your personal credit. In fact, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that now, because I have a lot of stuff that I cover as far as helping you get out of your personal credit jam. But that's only a quick fix. It's a band-aid, okay? Because if your thinking process is not right, if your head's not screwed on straight, and if you're thinking in terms of, I'm going to be an employee, I'm going to work, 3 jobs to try to get myself out of this situation, that's not the right thinking process. You're going to have to start expanding beyond that if you're going to survive and thrive in the months and years to come, because the economy is not going to get better for most people. Inflation's not going to go down. Things are not going to be good for people who are already stretched too thin, and that probably is you as well. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, and let's talk about what you can do to pull yourself out of the situation. So yes, you could start the process of fixing your personal credit, rebuilding your personal credit with all the YouTube videos that I shared with you. But you could also start to build yourself wealth. And you can use it with OPM or other people's money by looking at my YouTube videos on building unsecured credit, basically gaining other people's money to buy a business, for example, to invest in real estate, to invest in the markets. You can use other people's money to do that. But before you do any of that, you do need to build yourself a skill set. And this is the problem that I have with modern society today. So yes, the school system was stacked against you, and it was done so from the very beginning by Rockefeller, right? However, fast forward to today, you have access to information, endless amounts of information at your fingertips, believe it or not. And yet most people are choosing to watch Netflix and TikTok and all the other crap they waste their time on, and they're not self-educating themselves. So the key here is to self-educate yourself. So you don't want to run out there and get a bunch of unsecured credit to throw at some real estate deals when you haven't educated yourself on what to do with real estate investing, for example, or building a business, for example. You need to go out and get yourself the proper self-education when it comes to building wealth for yourself. Otherwise, you're never going to pull out of your jam. You're going to need one quick fix and band-aid after another to help you with your personal credit, to help you get out of a financial bind, to help you stretch from one paycheck to the next. That's never going to end for you until you start changing your mindset and saying, listen, the buck stops with me here. I'm the one who's now responsible. I know how to read. I could pick up some free books at the library and learn how to educate myself about business, about investing. I can go online and I can maybe get a couple courses on starting an online business, for example, or doing something like that to help forward yourself and forward your life rather than being lazy and sloth-like. You just don't want to be that, because then the buck stops at you. You can go around and complain and whine about politicians and about the economy and about everything else but yourself, when the reality is it is your fault. It's your fault that you're in your current situation right now. If you have bad credit, it's your fault. Okay? If you don't have a business that's profitable, it's your fault. If you don't seem to be able to have what we call luck in life, I hate to say it, but it's your fault. And the reason I say that is because you do have access to endless amounts of information, endless amounts of potential self-education opportunities at your fingertips that you are not taking advantage of. So I think maybe it's about high time that somebody like me tells you, listen, here is what the missing link is, and that is you need to start self-educating yourself about the opportunities that you want to take advantage of before you then set out and do the opportunities, okay? Now, I will be honest with you. It took me decades to learn the skill sets that I learned when it comes to marketing, copywriting, investing, etc. And that is a hard learning curve. It takes a long time to do it on your own, and it takes a long time to figure it out on your own. And so I've found over the years that online marketing is probably the hardest. It's the hardest for most newbies to come into. If you don't already have a template platform or some other opportunity to jump on somebody else's back, to piggyback off of them, it's very difficult to be able to make it work. Most people get frustrated and they run out of money quickly before they're actually able to gain any traction in the business. Real estate investing is not easy at all. It takes a lot of years to really learn how to do it that way. And then on top of that, because we're at peak of the market prices, it's very difficult to be able to buy an apartment building, for example, and make a cash flow unless you're putting, upwards of 50% cash down on it. Most people don't have that. So I know all of these things because I've been in the business world for 30 years. Okay, so that's why I know these things. And so you're probably thinking, well, Monica, you told me everything that's so hard to do, but you told me to self-educate myself. You told me to get involved in some kind of cash flowing business so I could start pulling myself out of my credit debacle and start to move forward in a positive financial way. So what do? You're probably wondering. Well, the answer is you need to plug into something that's already tested and proven. An already tested and proven business plan, business opportunity, somebody's licensing opportunity, for example, maybe somebody's affiliate marketing opportunity, something that's already tested and proven that you literally plug into, especially if you don't have a wide variety and background of business experience. Because the business learning curve on whether it's marketing, sales, or investing, that is a hardcore learning curve that does not come easy. It doesn't come fast either. So most people want fast and easy, like fast food, and that's not how it works. So now you need to think about, okay, what opportunity can I plug into that's tested and proven? Maybe get a marketing license from somebody, maybe an affiliate marketing opportunity that I could just simply follow some steps and get involved in. Maybe that's what I can do. And if that's what you're looking for, if you're really serious about getting that side hustle business, because let me be honest with you, if you want to make it in the months and years to come, you're going to have some kind of cash flowing side hustle. There's no way around it. If you're having problems with your personal credit right now, what do you think it's going to look like a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, right? If you are already struggling to pay your bills, if you're already behind and making payments on stuff, if you're already struggling with the grocery bill, for example, or your utilities, or paying any of your bills, if you're struggling today, what do you think that's going to look like in a year or so from now? And the answer is it's going to be worse. Okay, it's going to be worse. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to drop a bag of money at your doorstep. You're going to have to work for what you want. The good news is you don't have to work hard. You could just simply plug into an already tested and proven money-making blueprint to where you basically don't have to think a lot. You just basically have to follow some steps and just do the stuff in the steps. Now, here's the problem that I've had with people in the past. And that is, I have students sign up for stuff and they don't follow through. So if you're one of these people that doesn't follow through, don't even bother, don't even waste my time, okay? Don't waste anybody's time. However, the people that do plug into these already tested and proven money-making blueprints, they do make a lot of money as long as they're willing to follow the instructions, not change and alter any of the instructions, and just follow the steps as they are presented. Guess what? They're wildly successful. Like take Tim, for example, with my latest and greatest creditpreneur business. He's already making on average about $1,200 per week, and he just started 60 days ago, okay? Or you could take Eleanor. She is already making on average about $300 a day with her creditpreneur business. And she started about a little more than 3 months ago, I would say, when we first launched this. And she's already making $300 a day with this business. Or take Thomas. He is making on average about $1,500 a week with this business, and he just started 6 weeks ago, okay? Or Liliana. She just started with the business about 2.5 months ago, and she's making on average about $500 a day with the creditpreneur business. So it just goes to show you what's possible if you want to follow a simple set of plug and play instructions step by step presented to you, whereas you don't have to come up with stuff from scratch. Like, I have to tell you, in the 30 years I've been in business, and if I literally had to start over, like if everything was taken away from me, I don't even know what I'd start with, but I could tell you what I wouldn't start with. I wouldn't start with real estate investing because it's cost prohibitive to get started. You need heavy duty down payments, earnest money deposits, you need connections with bankers and lenders and etc. And if you're getting started with the business with no contacts, it's very difficult to be able to make money with real estate right now, as far as cash flowing tenant-based real estate. Would I start with that? No, I would not. Would I start with stock trading? No, because the learning curve with stock trading or Forex trading or any of that stuff is just also very intense. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't learn from the right person, or you don't want to be a day trader where you're sitting in front of your computer and you can't even get up to use the bathroom because you have to be like that on point with all your trades, if that's not what you're interested in and you don't want to spend months and months and months to learn that, and you can't find the top tier person who could teach you, who's probably going to charge you $100,000 to teach you anyway, then that's not going to be the business for you either. What about an online business, starting to, an online business selling t-shirts, for example? Would you do that? No, I wouldn't do that. The reason being is because there's so much competition. Ad cost is ridiculous, especially pay-per-click, Facebook ads, YouTube video ads, Google ads, any kind of online pay-per-click platform is just an excessive ripoff compared to how much money you would potentially make per t-shirt. So I probably wouldn't do something like that. I might do an information publishing business online, but that's only because I have the background and I know what I'm doing and I know how to create a course that people would want to buy, and I know how to do the sales steps to be able to make people want to buy those courses. I know how to do the webinars and so forth. But if I didn't have any skill set, like if I was sitting in your shoes right now and I didn't have any skill set, then that's not the business I would start either, because the learning curve, yet again, is so ridiculously steep that most people run out of money, time, they're exhausted, and they just can't figure the business out, and they just throw in the towel and they give up. So like I said, if I had the opportunity to start over, knowing what I know now with 30 years of business experience, I would literally plug into somebody's already tested and proven materials. They're tested and proven business where they share their marketing materials, where they share all of the steps necessary. All I need to do is follow a simple set of blueprint steps, and there I am. And then I just don't deviate from the steps, and I'm very consistent with following the steps, and that's all I do. And I get to use their marketing materials too. Yes, that's definitely what I would be doing. And so I'm able to offer that to you with my Creditpreneur group. It's a fairly new group. It's been around for about roughly 4 months or so now. But I've had some incredible success stories. But again, only with the students who actually follow the instructions. There's a lot of people that simply drop off. I'm going to be honest with you. They're lazy. They found the latest Netflix show to binge watch, and then they're deviated off course, and then they don't complete the steps. If that's you, don't even bother, because you're never going to be successful with this or anything else if you're that flighty and that lack of focus. So if you do want to check it out, you can go ahead and go to thecreditpreneur.com. That information is down below. Check it out. You can literally get involved in the business for $27. That's a lot. A lot of times people, that's the other issue too that I have a lot of issues with people, is that they don't understand that getting involved in any business is going to be an investment. Hello? It's like, okay, say for example, let's use the auto detailing example. Say, for example, you were going to start an auto detailing business. Well, you would never expect that to be free, right? You'd have to buy a truck. You'd have to buy supplies. You'd have to buy flyers and business cards. You'd have to buy, maybe a laptop computer to be able to do maybe some online marketing locally to get people, interested in your auto detailing service. Whatever the case may be, you're going to have to invest. That's the key word there, invest in the business. Nothing comes free. And then, of course, there's a time frame in which it's going to take to build the business. It might take 6 months. It might take a year. That you're knocking on doors, passing out flyers, advertising online locally. It's going to take time for you to build that business. Okay. So I don't understand why when people come online and they think that they're scrounging around for free information on YouTube or blogs or whatever, and they don't understand why nothing is free. I just don't get it. I mean, they even have a hard time spending like $20 on an Amazon book about how to build an online business, for example. And it's just like, but that's an investment. It's not an expense. It's an investment. You have to look at it as an investment, not an expense, because every business out there is going to cost money. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. They are lying to you. Even the most simplistic, basic service business out there is going to cost you some money. So say, for example, you wanted to get in the most bare bones, basic kind of business out there possible, like picking up dog crap in people's yards, for example, like you minimal investment, right? Well, there's still an investment. Hello, you have to have the little thingy-majiggy thing to pick up the dog poop. You have to have the poopy bags or whatever you need to pick up all the poop. You're going to have gas money to be able to drive from one location to the next. You're going to actually have to have a car to be able to drive to one location to the next. Now, assuming you already have a car, you definitely need to put some money into gas to be able to get to these places. You're going to need some flyers and business cards. You still need to invest, even in the most bare bones, basic service business. You have to invest something to be able to make it work, right? So I just don't get this whole everything needs to be free culture when nothing is free. I mean, go to the store right now and you tell me what's free in the grocery store. Nothing, okay? You go to T-Mobile or Verizon and you tell me, if they're going to give you free service. They're not. Nobody's giving you anything for free. So now you have to frame it in what is an expense and what is an investment, right? And so you need to start thinking about how can I invest in myself? Well, first and foremost, if you're not ready to get involved in any kind of investing endeavor or business endeavor, go to the library. Yes, that is free. Get yourself a library card and start looking at different business books, different investing books, just to start immersing yourself in that. Start reading autobiographies by really wealthy or rich people who've started businesses and who've been entrepreneurial successes. Start there. If you just don't have any ideas on what kind of business you want to start with some entrepreneurial rich people autobiographies, people that are self-made millionaires and billionaires, and just read and get some ideas, and that's how you could start. But if you are not where you want to be financially, it is your fault. It is absolutely 100% your fault. And I know not a lot of people are going to tell you that because they don't want to tell you the truth, but that is the truth, and it is your fault. But the good news is, because it is your fault, the good news is you live in the land of opportunity, and you can literally decide in one decision in 1 second, maybe that decision is right now, to do something different. And that decision can be to read books and to start immersing yourself in some kind of education, some self-education, because the world is not going to give you the right education. They don't want you to have the right education. They don't want you to be educated to learn how to take advantage of the opportunity that's here. They want you to feel like a victim so that they can control you. They can control the masses. And it's your job to thwart that, and it's your job to do something about it. So if you're interested in my Creditpreneur group, it's literally the lowest budget group that you could ever become part of, where you can literally get a step-by-step blueprint of an actual business, including exactly how to set up your website, including the actual marketing materials that you can use as a mini license to be able to use to get customers. Then go ahead down below to thecreditpreneur.com and get started. It's $27 and consider it an investment. You will never be able to get into any other business for $27, like ever, okay? And if I were to start over, that's the business that I would start over in, is the Creditpreneur business. So if you found that this video was useful to you, please give me a nice thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel. It does, in fact, help me out a lot. I have a lot of stuff coming to you, especially on the investment and entrepreneurial types of videos, because I know a lot of you just want to know how to make money. And so I'm going to share with you everything that I know about how to make money, including how to make money with direct mail marketing, postcards, even online marketing. I'm going to share everything that I know with you that I've learned over the last several decades, okay? This is Monica Main signing off, and I will see you in the next video.